On a good Monday night. You're checking out the RCWR show for Monday night of March the 9th, 2020. Lee Sanders here. Thank you guys so much for joining this episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, man. I appreciate it. Appreciate the love, as always. Raw, couple of minutes removed as they came to us from Washington, D.C., right here in the nation's capital at the Capital One Arena, home of the Washington Capitals, the Washington Wizards, and all kinds of cool concerts and Mystics when they play. All types of good stuff that always be going down at the Capital One Arena. I gotta tell you, if you guys love traveling up and down on the East Coast, or you just love traveling in general, and particularly you love traveling to wrestling events, maybe you're one of those WWE fans that like to make your rounds going to quarterly, pay-per-view events, things leading up to a pay-per-view event. DC crowds are pretty damn good, and I know usually we have a bunch of fans in the metropolitan area that make their rounds, hopping on YouTube, trying to see what all the podcasts had to say about Raw for tonight. I gotta say, you guys definitely delivered tonight. Honestly, as always, when it comes to getting that Raw leading into WrestleMania, DC always on the road to WrestleMania. DC, if they don't get one of the final Raws before WrestleMania, they definitely are among the top 5 cities going into Mania that for sure gets a Raw episode. And DC always delivers. They never disappoint. So DC crowd, I got no bones to pick with you all tonight. I don't, and I sincerely mean that. Y'all have brought the energy tonight. I'm feeling it. Now, in case you guys don't notice it here, I am sporting my Washington Nationals cap here. Thought I'd pay a little homage since Raw did come to us from DC and everything. And not to mention the one time that I had wore this hat, just when it was kind of looking as though maybe the Nats were not going to win the World Series. They ended up doing it. So it was, hey, all right now. So fantastic. So I do want to do a short show. What's up, Freddie? I do want to do a short show tonight. Normally when I say that, we get the snickers and all that. But really, we were just on the air less than 24 hours ago. We were talking about fallout from the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. So those of you that are expecting me to do a full-blown recap, we already did a post show on that. It's available on demand and on the downloads. I will do this though. I will give my overall rating of the pay-per-view because that's one thing that I did not get a chance to do, and I actually went back and watched the pay-per-view a second time. So that's pretty much boom. But pretty much we got Raw to talk about tonight. Couple of little headlines, little tidbits we can get into, and we're pretty much going to be done. So I'm hoping we could be done at the time we're doing this. It's 10 minutes past 11. I'm hoping we could be in and out no later than 12:15. If we wrap up sooner than that, I'm totally fine with that. I do want to kick back, have a good nightcap, catch up on some Better Call Saul, catch up on some Walking Dead. So it is all good. But yeah, we definitely going to be talking about Raw in DC tonight. So interesting main event match. That main event match went 3 segments. 3 segments. Not sure how many of you guys were peeping that out, but it actually went 3 segments. That main event match that consisted of the Street Profits and the Viking Raiders taking on Seth Rollins, Buddy Murphy, and the AOP 8-man tag match. Holla, holla, player. Nice way to close out Raw. DC crowd seemed to be pretty into it and everything. But as good as that 8-man tag match was, and I like how everything pretty much had closed out with Kevin Owens making the cameo appearance that he did, because Seth Rollins, Murphy, and AOP, they did win, but KO came in afterwards with a surprise attack on Rollins, delivering a stunner. Remember, he definitely did a stunner on Akeem, but the numbers game, just too much. You just knew, okay, Kevin Owens in there, the other guys are already down, so they can't exactly come to his aid. He's about to get his ass handed to him, and sure enough, the Monday Night Messiah entourage, they did get the one up on him. So Seth Rollins catching a little bit of, or you want to rephrase that, get a little bit of payback for what KO's been doing to him the past couple of weeks. kind of a fun match, but really kind of pointless. It really didn't. If you want to say it did anything, it does further along the rivalry that's going on between Rollins and Owens to the point somebody's going to be challenging. I would like to imagine maybe it's going to be Owens that challenges Rollins. Then again, it could be the other way around. Who knows? But obviously, all signs seem to be indicating we're going to be going in that respective direction. That's cool and everything, but yeah. But for the love of me, what I can't figure out, what the hell happened with Alistair Black? And I bring that up because for those of you that did not watch Raw tonight, Alistair Black actually had a one-on-one matchup against Seth Rollins. And the way this came about, it was actually pretty smooth. Because earlier in the night, we see Alistair Black, he's kicking back, and he's in his pit of darkness, misery, whatever the hell it is. And he looks as though he's getting ready to cut a little bit of a promo, as far as who's he going to be knocking on the door of next. And then you hear a knock, and it's, oh, that's him doing it, right? No, it's not him. And so he's looking around trying to see where that noise came from. And it turns out it's Seth Rollins with Buddy Murphy. And cut to the chase, Rollins was trying to recruit Alistair Black. And Alistair Black declined him. He actually was presented the Monday Night Messiah shirt and everything. And Alistair Black declined him. And Rollins pretty much came right at him. I don't really think you understand. Let me make this as clear cut as humanly possible, dog. We know he doesn't say dog. I'm paraphrasing. Make it clear cut as possible, dog. I'm not making this a request. This is pretty much a demand. If you are not with me, then you're against me. So Alistair Black pretty much took that as, look, well, you came, you knocked on my door, so that lets me know you're spoiling to pick a fight with me. I accept. So that's how we got that matchup. It was pretty smooth how they had went about it. Actually, it was a pretty good, entertaining matchup for what it was worth. I think that match went about maybe almost, felt like it definitely went past 10 minutes. Felt like it went past 10 minutes, but definitely under 15 minutes. It's a good matchup there. Black holding his own there against Seth Rollins. And I love that the bookers in WWE continuing to elevate Alistair Black even more after the great rub-off he essentially had got from Undertaker less than 24 hours ago. Now we put him in this great unique position where now he's getting a bit of a rub from Seth Rollins and everything. And I know some people don't exactly like what's going on with Rollins right now and his placement in the card. And I reiterated before, but I'll stress it again. Do not think that as far as Seth Rollins goes, do not think, because it would be silly to think this way, that he's done being a world heavyweight champion for the WWE. Everything that's going on, much like with Roman Reigns and a couple other people, we are just seeing a scenic route that's going on with Seth Rollins right now. But make no mistake about it, he's got more than one world heavyweight championship reign coming his way. At this point, this is essentially about going in the respective directions of what the fans want and pretty much going that way. Now, some of you may look at that and you can either look at that and say, that's a half glass empty type of statement there. And I would say you're absolutely right, because us as fans, we don't really get everything that we want from the WWE, do we? But make no mistake about it, he's definitely going to be back in the World Heavyweight title picture once again. If I were to be a betting man, and I know some of you guys like to take notes on some of the things that I say, especially on social media, and you're quick to remind me when it does come to fruition, I will honestly say that I will say that I'm going to make a bold statement, and I'm going to say that before 2020 is up, I can almost see something happening maybe late summer, definitely going into the fall, but definitely not by the end of the calendar year. But before 2020 is up, Seth Rollins will be a world heavyweight champion again. You heard it here first. I'm pretty sure So, yeah, I do my rounds like you guys. I got my own favorite podcast I like to check out and everything. I've never heard anybody jump out there and make a prediction as far as, hey, when do you think Seth Rollins is going to be a champion again? Making a bold statement, I think right now, before 2020 is up, he'll be having that championship yet again. They're just doing a scenic route with him right now. And honestly, look, some people, they like what he's doing. Me personally, I will tell you, does he work good as a heel? Yes, he does work good. He does work better as a heel, but he works best when he has the right type of material. And for the love of me, I just cannot get into this whole Messiah thing that's going on right now. To each its own. I've already told you guys from a couple of weeks ago, I told you how I would experiment more with this Messiah character and everything. I would really let loose with it and everything. And for me, I'm just not really that impressed with what I've been seeing. But I've always been consistent with his in-ring performance. I've never questioned that. I've never knocked that. And what he's been able to do within recent weeks is a really big testament to him overall as a athlete, overall as a performer, and for that he definitely has my utmost respect. But everything that's going on with him right now, it's a bit of a scenic route. But where the hell was Alistair Black after that match was over with that he had with Rollins to get back on track? Because Alistair Black wins via DQ, and closing moments of that one, Seth Rollins, he missed a kick. Black kicks Seth into the ropes, goes in for another kick, then turns a German into a pin. 1-2, Murphy interrupted, and there was your DQ. And then somehow, mysteriously, Alistair Black disappears. I thought for sure he was going to be sticking around and he was going to be part of that 8-man tag match, but he just, poof, he was gone. Weird. That was just totally weird. Not doing a full-blown Raw recap, but do want to talk about key points that had caught my eye here. There's other stuff that we can get into on this show. But Raw overall tonight, definitely good. I do have a poll asking you guys, what did you think about Monday Night Raw? Got a couple polls that's open right now. I got the Twitter and I got the YouTube. For those of you that do not have Twitter, then you are more than welcome to go on the communities tab on youtube.com/the RCWR show and vote that way. And I'll actually poke my head and see how that one's doing in a little bit because I just promoted it. I did put it out there. See, here's the thing. If you guys select the option to subscribe to the channel, there's a bell icon. And the bell icon, make sure that you're clicking on receive all notifications. So that way, whether I'm posting something in the communities tab or getting ready to go live, or maybe I uploaded something, you'll always know. We don't do like some YouTube channels and give you like 30 pieces of content each day. Like, I have a life. I'm sorry, guys. Like, sorry. But hey, to each its own. But, me respectfully, I've got a life. But, respectfully and in decent moderation, you guys get heads up about what's going on and everything. So I wouldn't be surprised if some of you guys might have gotten that notification late about the voting. But let's go to Twitter. I'll come back to YouTube a little later on after we get done talking about Raw. But ask you guys on Twitter, what did you guys think? And I'm seeing right now we've got about 50% of you, 50.9% of you to be exact, that's giving Raw a thumbs down. 49.1% of you are giving it a thumbs up. So a bit divided, to say the least. Slight edge going towards the thumbs down, but that's pretty damn close there, is it not? Raw overall, it had a couple of good points. Really, it was about the selling points, and the main selling point was Edge. How is Edge going to respond to Randy Orton after the vicious attack that he did to his wife Beth Phoenix last week? How is he going to respond to the vicious attack that Orton gave him a couple of weeks ago? And it didn't dawn on me until tonight as I was watching Raw that Edge hit buddies, Zack Ryder, Buddy Murphy. They were among the first last week to be at Beth's side after she took that RKO and everything. And I bring that up because I couldn't help but go, wait a minute now, because I ended up watching Elimination Chamber again for a second time. I couldn't help but go, well, wait a minute now. So we go to this pre-show, and we've got Ryder and Hawkins in a tag match against the Viking Raiders. We hadn't seen Ryder and Hawkins for such a long period of time. And first match out the gate, we get them against the Viking Raiders. And then we see them tonight, and they're pretty much in a squash match against Bobby Lashley. I don't know who was booking that shit, but for me, it would have made all the sense in the world to see both of those guys. Now, if you say to me, Lee, they did do a little something with these guys on the WWE network, if it ain't airing on my TV, it didn't happen. It didn't happen. You feel me? It didn't happen. So I would have loved to see in a scenario come about where it plays out on WWE TV. Hey, Edge is our compadre. Really, it should have went down at the pay-per-view. Edge is our compadre. We've known him for many, many, many years. We've known him. We know Beth. We know the kids. Randy Orton, that was not cool what you had did to our friend. And there's a receipt for an ass whooping coming to you. We both challenge you to a handicap match. I wish we could have seen something like that play about at Extreme Rules. And if you wanted to go ahead and maybe let that be a pre-show matchup, I would have been okay with that, but at least you would have been given some type of value from the standpoint of these past several weeks. Randy Orton has been freaking white hot, and there's just no telling what he's going to do to Ryder and Hawkins. And if you still, afterwards, depending on how far he takes it with them, if they are able to get away, not seriously injured like what we saw with MVP tonight, then all right, dust them off, let them go take on Bobby Lashley Monday night in DC, no problem. But I thought that was kind of weird that you would have thought that with past history, leave it to us veteran fans to remember that type of little stuff. Nobody else had brought that up either. Remember, stuff like that, you'll always be able to appreciate, come to know, love, and respect that we're kind of that insightful the way we kind of go all around and look at it. And that's not rehearsed. That's nothing that's written down. That's just, it's spontaneous. It's just whatever comes to my mind. But yeah, Lashley was back in the house. Surprisingly, he was not with Lana. I'm not sure if maybe that's because Lana is maybe taking some R&R. Maybe a new movie she's getting ready to work on. She's getting ready to work on a sci-fi movie. I forgot who is making up the cast for that movie, but there's some new movie that she's involved in. Hopefully it's on point. Speaking of movies, shout out to Thor 4. I'm looking forward to that. Christian Bale is officially the major villain for Thor 4. We also got word that the director of Thor, the last Thor, and this one, he's pretty much been there for the past couple. He confirmed that Guardians of the Galaxy, the entire cast, they are going to be in Thor 4. This is awesome. This is freaking awesome, man. I know we still got some people that's a little bit butthurt about the whole, hey, Christian Bale, Batman, DC, what the hell? I got a fun story we can come back to later on, but sticking to Raw for now. Becky Lynch kicking things off. That was nice. It was nice to see a more serious demeanor coming from Becky Lynch, and also at the same time taking her digs at Shayna Baszler, calling her a constipated robot from NXT. I actually chuckled at that line. That was pretty good. Weird thing though, the prepackaged spot that they did with Shayna Baszler. They put this package of everything that she's done, how she's breaking bitches and everything. And as she's cutting this promo, we see that she's somewhere in the back. She's in a locker room or whatever. Calls Becky Lynch the B word again. And you've got this weird music that's playing in the background, and you can't help but go, do we really need the music playing? Do we really need that? We don't really need that. I get it. I get why you want the music in the back, but we really don't need the music in the background. Just let the words that she's saying come out of her mouth. Just let it speak for herself. Let it be as blunt. Let it be as to the point. she's not a promo talker. And yeah, this is what I find so funny. We got so many people that's taking a massive shit on Shayna Baszler. And it's, where the fuck were you guys when it came to her being down in NXT? Because she was breaking bitches left and right in NXT. And any true Shayna Baszler fan will tell you, yeah, dude, if you're looking for somebody to come out there and really wow the crowd, watch out, wacky. Yeah, Shayna Baszler is not that person. Shayna Baszler just comes out, and she is a woman of very few words. She lets her talents in the ring speak for itself. So I get a big chuckle out of seeing people that, she can't talk, all that other crap. Called her a black hole of charisma. That's another one that had me chuckling as well and everything. And I like the one part where Becky Lynch brought up the fact, let's be honest, you're pretty much on a revenge tour here for your little butt buddy, Ronda Rousey, who I beat for this championship a year ago. I get it. But you want to keep calling me the bitch? Well, truth is, I am the bitch. I'm the bitch of this division. I'm holding this championship. So I love seeing that bravado and everything come out of Becky Lynch. It was definitely nice to see a more serious demeanor come about with her, because these past several weeks she's been coming off very comical. One point I had said, what's going on with my girl Becky? She's almost coming off like a great value version of Conor McGregor, like, and not in a good way. Like, sometimes great value, there's some good stuff that they have. For instance, their Sam's Pizza, especially there's one Sam's Pizza that's really, really good. Their Philadelphia cheesesteak pizza. It's actually pretty damn good. But not everything from the Great Value line is good. And in the case of how Becky was acting up until this point, I wasn't feeling it. Wasn't a big fan of it. So it's nice to see this Becky Lynch. And I love the fact that we name drop Ronda Rousey too. That one also kind of raised my eyebrow a little bit there. And given the fact that Ronda Rousey had appeared on Corey Graves' podcast a couple of weeks ago, and she's been doing more WWE related stuff and everything, you just can't help but wonder, inquiring minds want to know, is she maybe going to play some type of a factor here and help out her fellow horsewoman and Shayna Baszler? Yeah, you kind of can't help but wonder about that. That's to be continued, but kind of put that in the back of your mind, because we'll definitely revisit that again when we get ready to offer WrestleMania predictions in a couple of weeks. Next week on Raw should be pretty good. Steve Austin is going to be hosting that episode, as Raw is going to be coming to us from Pittsburgh, PA. So, boy, I tell you what, PA is the place you want to be right now. PA got the Elimination Chamber, and now PA is going to be getting the Raw. Pittsburgh crowd. I can't wait to see how that Pittsburgh crowd is going to be operating, man. Just the PA crowds in general. You want to know what's going on? They are one of the best crowds to go to, on top of New York, Chicago, New Jersey, DC, Baltimore. Like, this is a good crowd, so I can't wait to see how they're going to be doing that. Now, I can tell you right now, because I was actually talking with the missus, and she was like, holy shit, how you going to follow that up? I said, I don't know, because what took me back was Steve Austin is going to be having a brand new episode of Broken Skull Sessions that's going to immediately air after Raw next week. And his guest is the Hitman Bret Hart. Holy shit. Like, what the hell? And my girl's like, what are you going to do? I'm like, I don't know. It's like, well, maybe you should come on Tuesday. I'm like, well, if I come on Tuesday, then I have to do a show Wednesday. Because, Wednesdays we cover AEW, NXT, and we go a little bit all over the place. She's like, oh, yeah. She's like, well, it doesn't make sense to come on late Monday night going into Tuesday either, because that's really going to fuck up your sleep. I'm like, yeah, definitely. So I don't know how we're going to do Monday night, guys. I'm being totally honest. I don't know if... I guess I'll poll you guys Tuesday afternoon, or maybe Tuesday morning, Tuesday afternoon. I'll poll you guys and I'll ask you all, what would you like to happen? If you guys want a Monday night show, I'll gladly do a Monday night show. If you prefer it, if maybe I do a combination of reviewing the Broken Skull sessions and Raw, I'm willing to do that. But we got a couple of different options that we can do. But yeah, very tricky what's going to be happening on next week. But that should be a fun episode. I'm looking forward to that. AJ Styles promo. This is where shit got real. Hell, let's be honest. Shit got real with this one. So AJ Styles with the OC, they came on out. AJ was pretty much doing all of the talking. He actually called The Undertaker by his real name, Mark Calloway. Even mentioned The Undertaker's wife. Now, this is something that, if you really stop and you think about it, we did get that nod of Michelle McCool. I can't remember which WrestleMania it was. It almost feels like maybe it was the WrestleMania where Undertaker had took off his coat, his boots, and his hat, and he put it in the middle of the ring, and he went off to the side, and he kissed Michelle McCool. I want to say maybe it was at that WrestleMania. But there was a WrestleMania where, oh, okay, and if you didn't know who she was, but you saw Undertaker, hey, he's kind of breaking character here. He's embracing this blonde woman. Who the hell, unless you were just a silly rabbit, surely you hopped online. Who's this chick that he was hugging and kissing there? What the hell? And you found out, oh, Michelle McCool. Well, who's Michelle McCool? Oh, that's his wife. And then, not for nothing, if you're following The Undertaker on social media and everything, then you already know. But, if you want to get technical, this was really WWE's first proper introduction of, yes, Undertaker, at the end of the day, he is a real person. He does have a personal life. He is a man. He has a woman. It was very interesting that we went in that direction. And as I first watched this play out and everything, oh, shit's getting real. It's like, why are we doing this? I don't understand. Why are we doing this? And the more and more I dived into it, initially I was going, I'm not sure I really like this direction that we're going in. This is how we're essentially going to try to tell a story of AJ Styles, Undertaker. That's how we're going to tell this story. There's so many other colorful ways we can play this story, but this is what we're going to be doing here. Not really sure I like this. But I stayed with it and everything. And AJ, he delivered on many, many fronts tonight in this promo and setting up this match against The Undertaker. DC crowd giving it to him, everything. DC loves them Undertaker. I can't stress it enough. Look, I know for those of you that were maybe watching this on your TV, maybe a little bit of the reactions that you've heard, you actually got to be there live in attendance at the Capital One Arena. DC fucking loves Undertaker. It is unanimous. Unanimous. I've been to enough events at Capital One Arena that involved Undertaker, even when it was under different name, the arena and everything. And trust me, they love Undertaker. So for me, AJ was really doing a good job in working the crowd. I think for the most part, it played out well on TV and everything. Love the part where he had said that, hey, everything that Michelle McCool wants, she gets, despite Undertaker, Mark Calloway, getting hurt. Undertaker's got a beautiful family, but she's the most conniving person, Michelle McCool that is, she is the most conniving person that he's ever met in his entire life. And he went on to say, your wife is going to run you into the ground, and I'm going to help her. I'm going to make sure you die in that ring at WrestleMania. And that just made the crowd really lose their shits. And he goes, let me state that another way. I'm going to take the Undertaker's soul at WrestleMania. I'm going to do what his wife wants me to do. The man's already lost his mystique, his pride. I was ready for him to say manhood as well. He's just a broken down old man. She's like, okay, oh, okay. But then at the same time, I also, as all of this was playing out, I couldn't help but be reminded of what went down in 2018. Does anybody remember this? In 2018, oh, hell no, Samoa Joe. There's just a line that you don't cross. You don't mess with a man's family. That's just too personal, man. You just don't do that. But you want to make this personal. You want to stalk my beautiful wife and my children, and you want to make this person. You're making the biggest mistake of your life, Samoa Joe. Anybody remember that? You got to rewind it back to 2018. Go back to that feud that went down for a couple of months there in 2018, pretty much at the start of summer, between AJ Styles and Samoa Joe. Remember in August, they had a match that was, if I remember it right, it was a no disqualification. AJ Styles just, towards the end, he just lost his bananas on Samoa Joe. And remember, he was bleeding profusely. And he, at one point when the match was over and everything, because if I remember it right, Samoa Joe was freaking going over to AJ Styles' wife and everything. Remember that? He had a series of episodes on SmackDown. Oh, Wendy! Daddy's home. And freaking Samoa Joe was like, I'm going to be the man. I'm going to be the husband. I'm going to be the father that you're not able to be, AJ, because you're always here on the road. Remember that? So you get freaking Samoa Joe playing these mind games. AJ Styles finally gets his hands on his ass. They're beating the crap out of each other. AJ Styles is bleeding profusely. It was a no DQ match. AJ goes over to his wife. Honey, y'all okay? Oh, kid, y'all right? I know he doesn't call his kid, but you get what I'm saying. And as he was trying to go in for his daughter just freaking bust out in tears crying, and she clutched on to her mom like, I don't know what's going on with daddy. This fool crazy. Get this ninja away from me. Seriously, like, get this ninja away from me. So I'm just trying to understand, and I hope that WWE is kind of able to clean the dots here a little bit, because I think you guys see exactly what I'm mentioning here now. So wait a minute. AJ had a serious problem with things being personal. AJ Styles, in that rivalry that he had with Samoa Joe, a man does not cross that line. Okay, so now we've got AJ Styles crossing that line, and how do you clean that up a little bit? How do you clean that up? I think one of the ways that you clean that up, because I think you have to do revisionist history, because WWE fans, they remember shit like that. Especially for a guy like AJ Styles, they remember shit like that. And not for nothing, that was actually a pretty good memorable feud that he had with Samoa Joe. So I think one of the ways that you clean that up, you got to say something along the lines of, Undertaker made this personal when he got involved in my business not once, but twice. So since he wants to make it personal, I'm going to make it personal right back. He doesn't like the dirty laundry that I'm airing. Well, he can see me at WrestleMania. That's how we can take care of that. And watch me give him a stiff upper lip. How about that? That's essentially how you squash that. But, and by the way, they're going to have a contract signing on next week's Raw. Freddie remembers that, so I'm sure a lot of you guys got to remember that. Look, I got to be honest. What they laid out, AJ did good tonight. But if that's what you're going to use to reel me in, I'm sorry, that wasn't impressive enough. It just wasn't. For me, just the names on paper should be a good match. And I got to follow up on what we had talked about off and on the past couple of weeks. We revisited it again on the show last night during the Chamber Post show, which is this. I know we've got fans that were really hoping that AJ Styles was going to maybe be involved in some type of a tag match with the OC. And maybe it was going to be Alistair Black, Undertaker, 2-on-3 handicap. I know I was on the show and I said to you guys, WWE has a couple of options. Did I not say that? I said WWE has a couple of options that they can do. They can either go with a one-on-one tag match, or they can go with a tag match. Either one-on-one or tag match. But I also had said to you guys, if they're going to go with a one-on-one, look, not for nothing, Undertaker has enough cachet with the company that, yeah, let's do that. Yeah, I'm down with that. I'm up for that. Well, my hip or whatever the case. So the fact that we're going in this one-on-one direction, that speaks volumes to me, and I think it should speak many volumes to you all, which is Undertaker feels pretty damn good that he can carry himself well in a one-on-one match against AJ Styles. So I get people that honestly felt that, and I'm with you. I'm with you guys 100%. I get you guys that are saying, man, just based off the past 5 years that I've seen of The Undertaker, dog. And you already know where I stand, and I'll reiterate it again. Undertaker, I'm good. Got like over 30 years of great work from this man that we can relive over and over again. Tell our kids, tell our friends, anybody that's into pro wrestling or just getting started into checking out pro wrestling. There's loads of great stuff that we can have them check out, that we can recommend. So for me, I'm good. I've got plenty of good Undertaker memories. I will agree with you guys that the last 5 years, but, it's no different than, it's almost kind of like watching Undertaker as Tom Brady to a certain degree. You hear all the stuff that's being put out there, and, oh, man, this dude 42 going on 43, and here he is, man. Oh, man, there was decline in his game last season. Man, he ain't the same, man. He needs to go sit down somewhere. He needs to stop doing that. Nah, man, he ain't got it no more. He ain't got the juice. He ain't got it no more, man. This time's over. It's done with. He should retire already. He already got all the championships. He's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Why he continuing to do all that? Nah, man, he's just hurting his legacy. Father Time is undefeated. Blah this, blah that. But Tom Brady, nah, man. I still got a lot left in this tank. I still feel as though I can still contribute. I can still go out there and I can still go to the playoffs. I can still go out there and I can take a team to the Super Bowl. God damn it, I can still go out there and I can win another Super Bowl. And Undertaker just has this, you can either call it the Mamba mentality, whatever you want to call it, but he feels as though he still has it. He can still contribute, and to know that he's hard on himself when he doesn't deliver, as a parent of what went down with Goldberg last go round, he really hard on himself, and he went back out there with a vengeance and pretty much silenced the critics and everything. And look, has time caught up to him? Without a shadow of doubt. Does he move like he did? I wish the Undertaker we could have right now, as far as physically. I wish we could have the Undertaker that had the last run as a world heavyweight champion on SmackDown. That Taker was fucking badass. I wish we could, as far as the mobility and the speed and all that, I wish we still had that Taker in 2020. But we don't. So has he gotten, yes. Everything about him, everything is slower. But this match with AJ Styles, it should be a good match just for Undertaker alone. As long as for Undertaker, it can just be a grounded strike, grappling type of game. Undertaker does not do the running clothesline off the ropes. We don't need to see old school. We don't. We're good. I know he's busted out a couple of times. Let us know. Hey, I still got it. That hip is good. But AJ is going to carry him very well. He's going to complement him very well. AJ's going to do a phenomenal job, no pun intended, I think, in protecting The Undertaker. Set the bar kind of low is my message to everybody. Expect a 3-star match out of 5. If it exceeds that, then so be it. And if it underperforms, then we got to be honest with each other and state that obvious fact. But So those of you out there that were really hoping it was going to go in a tag direction, like I said to you guys less than 24 hours ago, let's see what happens. Let's see what direction it goes in, and then just go from there. And now that we know what we're going to be getting in a couple of weeks, a little over 3 weeks, now it's just a matter of, okay, well, let's wait and see what type of match we're going to be able to get out of these guys coming at WrestleMania. And if it's the shits, you know I'm going to keep it honest. You know that. And if it's a good match, I will definitely give it its respected praise, without a shadow of a doubt. Edge was in the house tonight, trying to figure out how's he gonna retaliate here against Randy Orton and his despicable actions over the past couple of weeks, not just to Edge, but to his wife, Beth Phoenix, and everything. And true story. I gotta tell you guys this, because it was kind of hilarious. So I didn't see this until a couple of days after we initially went off the air. It was almost right into the weekend I saw this. So there was this, and I'm not making fun of her, so please don't take it the wrong way. But if she was not mentally challenged, she definitely has, she don't read the dirt sheets. She don't know nothing about wrestling podcasts and all that other stuff. She don't know about fact and fiction and all that, okay? But there was this woman. She looked as though she was probably in her late 20s, mid 30s. And she was going on you know how you get some people, they'll just read the hashtag, the popular hashtag, and they'll hunt. They'll just dig through the comments, and and she was doing that, and she was responding to every single person that enjoyed the RKO segment with Beth Phoenix, including yours truly. So at one point, apparently, like as soon as the segment was over, I said, "Damn, great segment. Beth Phoenix sold the hell out of that RKO. That's what the hell I'm talking about. Way to put in the work, sis." I said something along those lines. And this woman comes in, she responds to that, No. And when you look at her avatar and the picture of her, I appreciate the fact that she's not hiding behind a little cartoon or a blank avatar. I like the fact that, because nowadays, and I've been like this for a couple of years, unless it's, I can somehow see that, okay, there's actual real context here to this profile that's trying to interact with me or whatever, I will just ignore, I'll mute, or if I see it's just a trolling account, or if I even pick up a vibe that it's a trolling account, I just automatically will block the motherfucker. But I'm looking, I'm going, okay, all right, so this is a real person, okay. And she goes, no man should be putting his hands on a woman ever. This is so wrong. How can you endorse domestic violence on a woman? And I'm thinking to myself, Jesus fucking Christ, really? Really? So I replied right back to her, and I'm paraphrasing here, but this is 90% accurate. I said, Miss, I'm sorry if you possibly were involved in a domestic abuse relationship. Hey, abuse to any woman, without a doubt, that's wrong on so many levels. But what we're talking about here is sports entertainment. We're talking about make-believe. As JR would say, shit's fake, folks. So, respectfully, we're talking about a segment in which Beth Phoenix was actually okay going in there and doing what she did with Randy, and Randy doing what he did to her. Plus, don't you know by now, as far as the world of WWE goes, don't you know by now that for everything that Randy Orton has done, everything is going to come back 10 times as far as the receipt? Don't you know Beth Phoenix is going to be involved in getting the big payoff, the big comeback off of Edge getting the victory over him at WrestleMania? Don't you see this on the wall? And then I followed it up and I said, if you can't separate what's real and what's not when you're watching these shows, maybe you should pump the brakes and just not watch pro wrestling altogether. And another thing, if you're going to be this consistent going through the hashtag and responding to every single body that enjoyed a entertaining segment such as that, at least be consistent from this standpoint. The hell with just domestic violence slash abuse on women. There are men that are sadly in a abusive physical relationship as well. And it seems that the numbers grow more and more every single year. And she had nothing. She had no comeback. She had nothing. So I'm like, and that's the truth. It's like, come on, do we have to get all? It's entertainment. The shit's written. These are actors. These are performers. And okay, what the fuck? Are we supposed to see Beth Phoenix and Randy Orton after that segment airs? Hello, I'm Randall K. Orton. Hi guys, I'm Beth Phoenix. What you just saw there was intended for a mature audience. And we would just like to say here that at the WWE, what you saw played before your eyes was happening in front of people such as myself and Beth that are trained professionals. What we do on TV is entertainment. It's scripted. In real life, we're best friends. Hey, ain't that the truth? Get the fuck out of here with that. Come on. No. If your stomach is too weak for stuff like that, then you just shouldn't be checking that type of stuff out. That's it in a nutshell. That is it in a nutshell. But Edge, what type of zone was he going to be in tonight? Well, we will find out because we saw MVP. MVP was in the ring and he was talking about how he's getting ready to build his own little stable. He was getting ready to build his own little entourage. So he's basically getting ready to pull a Robert Stone brand there and what he's doing with Chelsea Green and everything. Oh, okay. We see you, MVP. You're just doing the black version of it. Okay. And he's talking about how one of the first people he wants to recruit and basically have be the centerpiece for this is Edge. And you're going, dude, Edge is going to spear the hell out of you. Like, first thing he sees. And sure enough, Edge arrives, comes out of a limo, charges right down to the middle of the ring. He's looking for Randy Orton, grabs the microphone from MVP and everything. And that was just awesome how MVP says to Edge, hey, man, your head ain't right. You need to check yourself. You need to check those feelings, man. You don't need to be thinking about Randy Orton. What you need to be doing is thinking about some other stuff. For example, how's your wife? You just, oh, no, brother. Don't go there, brother. Just, you don't fucked up. Sure enough, Edge spears the hell out of MVP. Gotta be candid with you guys. The MVP experiment, I've waited patiently a couple of weeks, and it's just not clicking. The WWE fan base is just not clicking with MVP this go round, and that's not really the fault of MVP. Ultimately, the fault of that rests on the hands of the WWE bookers. And I say that respectfully because other than the decent reaction that he received at the Royal Rumble, it's pretty much been very lackluster ever since. And if you guys remember weeks ago when we initially brought up MVP, I said to you guys, they got a very powerful thing at their disposal, the WWE Network. If there was ever a time to, hey, you guys just saw him come back at the Royal Rumble. Yeah, we're talking about the one and only MVP. Get caught up. If you're very new to him, get caught up. Check out an hour's worth of, or 30 minutes worth of MVP's greatest moments in the WWE available on the network. Hey, if you happen to signed up, you're a new subscriber and you're checking out the network for free, you get to see that for free. That's a good way to really get the ball rolling, and I can't stress it enough. I know he did recently appear on Corey Graves' podcast and everything, but you got to expand further. Maybe now that you got Peter Rosenberg back into the fold with WWE again, it's safe to say that as far as that, put it on the table. Safe to say that show is probably done, although I would like to see that show come back. I would like to see Peter Rosenberg do some type of a show where maybe every other week
he interviews a WWE superstar. You don't have to do it like Broken Skull Sessions. That's great as it is, but maybe you can have something somewhat kind of similar to what I would like to see happen involving Peter Rosenberg. I would like to see something that kind of incorporates WWE backstage meets Undisputed meets bring it to the table, like mix it all up, and there's your show right there. That way it can really just picture this, just for the sake of the argument. Let's say MVP wasn't here right now. Let's say MVP today just inked a deal with WWE. He's going to be coming back at WrestleMania. Let's just say this year's WrestleMania, they're doing a battle royal. They're doing a gauntlet match. Let's say MVP is going to be showing up right then and there, right? Now, from the moment that MVP today inked the deal to come back to the WWE, and okay, we already know he's going to be back this year's WrestleMania. All right, now how do we go about this new initiative where we're trying to reintroduce him to the WWE fan base? What do we do? Oh, well, okay, even though we're doing this thing at WrestleMania, is there any way, okay, what's going on with Peter Rosenberg, and what was the last episode he did of insert name of new show here? Oh, well, he just did one last week. He's going to be doing another one. Okay, now match it up with the order and MVP coming back. Okay, so by the time MVP makes his appearance at Mania, then we go into Monday Night Raw. MVP is going to be on. Okay, so let's see. Can we do something maybe that following week, the Raw after WrestleMania, where MVP is a guest on Peter Rosenberg's show? Yeah, we can actually. Okay, well, let's make that happen. Put that up on the network. We can make that coincide with the 30-minute little greatest hits compilation of everything MVP related. Hype that up on SmackDown, Raw, NXT, all the shows, social media blast should help out. Okay, yeah. We can definitely do that. Yeah. Until they start doing stuff like that, you can expect the same type of indifference. And that's the worst type of reaction that a wrestler can have. It's very detrimental. I've told you guys for many, many years that the best thing that you can do if you're a performer is get some type of a damn reaction, be it good or bad. Just get some type of a reaction, even if it's go away heat, the type of go away, we don't want to see you on our TV, that type. It's still a reaction, but to be out there, I don't care how charismatic you are, to be out there and the crowd is not responding to you at all, you're not going to last that long. And I know MVP was talking about in recent interviews and all that, you know, he's not looking to be an in-ring performer. He was just trying to, you know, show his kid, now that his kid is older, hey, this is what your daddy used to do back in the day and all this other stuff. Whatever the plan is, whether it's him being a road agent, helping out in talent relations, training, being a booker in the WWE, whatever the next chapter is. And I love MVP. Long-time listeners know how much of a big fan I am of MVP. Whatever it is that is on the cards for MVP, I just hope that they go ahead and they do it already. Because seeing the fans react the way that they did to Edge spearing the hell out of MVP. Oh, hit him one more time. And, you know, at this point, Randy Orton comes in, tries to jump Edge from behind. You know, they're fighting a little bit. Edge connects with an RKO. Looked pretty good the way he did it, too. He goes outside the ring. Edge tries to go for a steel chair. At this point, Randy Orton, he kind of senses what's coming. He rolls out. He's pretty much gone. MVP tries to attack Edge from behind. Edge manages to counter it, and he got him in this stand-up sleeper hold. It was a pretty good chokehold that he had on him and everything. He's just eyes locked on. I love this new look that Edge has. Edge looks like he has been through, I'm talking about before he came back this go round, just when we saw him at the Royal Rumble and everything, he's got this grittiness to him. He looks like he has experience being from hell to back. He's got that type of vibe going on, and I like it. I really like it. And he just this menacing psychotic look in his eyes as he's just locked on to Randy Orton and everything. And he basically does another, what does he do to, what does he do? I think he does a DDT, or he does another RKO to MVP. Does a Chircato chair, damn it. Puts his head on one chair and wham, wham, couple of times. All that was awesome. And the fans ate that up. They didn't care for MVP. They did not care for MVP. So hopefully that's the last time that we see MVP. He can just quietly, because now it's really coming off like a running gag. Need somebody to get their ass whooped in order to put over this star? Just put MVP out there. Yeah, he might not be wrestling anymore, but he sure can take an ass kicking. Put him out there. That's such a huge disservice. It is. It's a huge disservice to him. And hey, when the money is right, mofos are willing to do any and everything, as long as they're getting paid. And not for nothing, they're still getting camera time when it's all said and done. But there's just that little part in me that is very fond of MVP. I remember his earlier run in WWE, and I know a lot of people were like, not everything was great about him in Impact Wrestling, but there's actually a part of me that enjoyed some of the story arcs, definitely the matches that he had going on in Impact Wrestling when he was there and everything. I just want things to just kind of be in a nice little capsule as it is and everything, and that's just let that be. So Edge was chasing Randy Orton throughout the arena afterwards, but he never was able to get his hands on him again. He eventually found out from Charlie Caruso that he left the arena, so now you can't help but wonder if for the next couple of weeks, and definitely that's how I would set it up, next couple of weeks, Randy Orton, just when he thinks he's safe and he can go about his business, Edge is just essentially, every move you make, every step you take, I'll be watching you. You just be stalking this freaking ass. But you still have a very interesting dilemma that's going on here. How are you going to get to that point where this match happens, and most importantly, it's an unsanctioned match? Remember what I said several weeks ago. You gotta go the Triple H, Shawn Michaels, SummerSlam 2002 unsanctioned. You gotta have Vince McMahon, Triple H and crew basically going, look, man, what you did at Royal Rumble, that was great. Nobody can take that away from you and everything, but, we can't. Just everything that's been going on with Randy Orton, we cannot sign off on this match. We need to see that Edge step forward and say, I don't give a damn what stipulations you put out there. I don't care about lawsuits. I am not interested in litigation. I don't care what stipulations you got to put out there. Make the contract. Make it happen. I want the fucking, not necessarily a match. We should be seeing Edge say to whoever, I want to fight Randy Orton. This ain't no wrestling match. It's I'm coming to whoop your ass. So you gotta do a anything goes, non-sanctioned. You gotta go that way. That's the only way you can do it. So I'm hoping we're still going to be on that path and we're going to go there. But at some point, we're going to have to see management get involved. And basically, okay, you want this to happen. Okay, we're going to have the lawyers draw up the paperwork. But until then, you can't be chasing this guy around and you can't be getting fucking physical with him and everything. Otherwise, it's off. So we'll see what happens. They've got a little less than 3 weeks to go. So basically you've got essentially 3 Raws to tell this story. So how are we going to connect this, make it all seem right, not in a haste? Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley, they had a little bit of exchange of words. That was pretty cool. Nice little slugfest there from Rhea Ripley, cheap shotting Charlotte Flair. not really too much you can get into. I'm actually looking forward to that matchup. It's a very interesting dynamic that we got going on here. We got the NXT champion Rhea Ripley going to be taking on Charlotte Flair at Mania. Meanwhile, we got Shayna Baszler taking on Becky Lynch. Yeah, it's funny too because a lot of people seem to already have the impression that Shayna's not getting over, Becky Lynch is going to keep that fucking title. Don't rush so fast. Then you go to Charlotte taking on Rhea Ripley. I truly don't believe it's as clear cut as you guys are making it out to be. And I'll say this much and we'll move along. If it turns out it goes in another direction, trust me, we can be on that respected post show lighting that joint on fire and just saying how bad of a move it is if they're going to be going in a different direction. Like I said at the top, Raw had good spots tonight, but there were other where you're just going through the motion. I don't know how it was for you guys, but I found myself talking wedding with the missus because we got to get our song playlist together and a couple of other things. So I found myself sidetracked. If I wasn't talking wedding, I was doing some stuff on the tablet, responding to emails, and I doing some work related stuff for the office. I found myself kind of and only really coming in on the parts that we just went over that really got me excited and everything. Nothing really else, really stood out to me tonight. So it depends, what exactly were you looking for tonight? There were some key things you were looking for tonight. You got that fixed. But overall, it was one of those, well, at least we're on the road to WrestleMania. One more time to the polls we go, seeing what you guys had said. This time, let's see what you guys had said on YouTube, because we went to Twitter at the top of the show. Let's see what you guys had said on YouTube here. And again, you can cast your vote. If you don't have Twitter, you can cast your vote by heading on over to the Communities tab. 80% of you, this is via YouTube, 80% of you are giving Raw for this week a thumbs down. Meanwhile, 20% of you are giving it a thumbs up. Meanwhile, on Twitter, 52.5% of you are giving Raw a thumbs down. 47.5% are giving it a thumbs up. Appreciate everybody that cast their vote. Going to remain open for another 22 hours, so feel free to go on in there and cast your vote. We were talking about Broken Skull Sessions earlier and how Bret Hart is going to be a special guest on there. Did you guys see the video that's been making the rounds on social media with Bret Hart? And it looks like he's responding to some questions. He's doing like a Q&A on, I guess, Facebook or Instagram maybe. And he was getting some questions, and a question was asked of him about Hulk Hogan. I want to load this up. Tell me if this plays for you guys. If it doesn't play for you guys, just leave a quick comment, because I see there's a decent amount of you guys that's watching live right now. If you cannot hear the audio, let me know, and I will actually play the audio through the phone. But let me load this up here. All right, there you go. That is insane. That is insane. Were you guys able to hear the audio? Let me know. That was freaking insane though. I'll buy you guys a little bit of time because on YouTube there's a little bit of I want to say it's a 90-second, maybe a 2-minute delay. I'm still trying to figure out how we can iron that out because I looked on the back end, nothing that I'm doing wrong. Okay, Freddie. Freddie said he didn't hear anything. There was no audio. All right, so actually let me try that again. And yeah, there's like a little delay that I got here. And what I can do, so this is what I'll do. I'm going to have the audio play from my phone because my phone is actually connected to the mixer. So I'm going to load the video up for you guys again through the OBS. And then I'm going to have the audio play for you guys. So hang on a second. All right, so let's do that. And then, okay, I'm going to do it one more time. This time, you guys will be able to hear it. I just got to sync it up properly. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, and 1.
Stu's in. Stu's covered. Do I like Hulk Hogan? No, I don't. I think he's a phony piece of shit. I'm waiting for the next question. Stu's in.
And I'm going to actually play that one more time because I see the audio is a little bit low for the phone on the mixer. I'm going to do that one more time. Well, last time, guys, I promise.
Stu's in. Stu's covered. Do I like Hulk Hogan? No, I don't. I think he's a phony piece of shit. I'm waiting for the next question.
Lord, that's gonna. Oh, I can't wait to see Bret Hart on freaking Broken Skull Sessions, man. That's gonna be freaking killer, man. I'm hoping that Steve Austin brings up Goldberg because, I mean, he was so buddy chum with Bill Goldberg. I was waiting for the one freaking question. So I gotta ask you, while I got you here, I know you've been enjoying my beer so far. My good old IPA, which is going to be available everywhere all over the United States in 2020. Give me a hell yeah. But Bill Goldberg, Billy boy, Goldberg, Goldberg, gotta ask you a question, man to man. Kicking the shit out of Bret Hitman Hart. Tell me about that. Tell me what happened. What's going on in your mind? You still a little bit salty? You still a little bit sizzled? Bret Hart seems to not be man on. I tell you what, Bret Hart still pretty pissed off with you all these years later. How you feel about that, son? I really hope Stone Cold Steve Austin brings up the kick to the head. You know, because I'm just curious. I'm just picturing Bret Hart sitting across from him. So Bret, now you've been watching my shows here on WWE Network. Here, I'd be kicking back, having a couple of cold ones, a couple of drinks with some good friends. But I had Goldberg, had Bill Goldberg on the show a couple weeks ago. Had him on the show. Didn't get a chance to ask him about it. I know you and him haven't seen eye to eye. A couple of things that's been going on. So tell me that kick to the head from Bill Goldberg. How's it been doing for you all these years later? You still a little bit salty? Just talk to me, man. Keep it to me straight. What's going on? What's going on, brother? I'm just picturing Bret Hart like, well, I tell you, I still fucking hate his guts, to be honest with you. Yeah, I just want to see him. He's a fucking piece of worthless shit. He's reckless. That's what he is. Yeah, he's fucking piece of shit. He's unsafe. One of the most unsafest workers I've ever worked with. You know, because we've seen Stone Cold in previous Broken Skull joints where he has shown a clip. For instance, there was one joint where when he had Glenn Jacobs on the show, he played a little snippet of his conversation with Undertaker, and Kane was brought up, and so give me your reactions to that. How do you feel? And, Kane freaking goes there and everything. And so I hope that there's something that maybe was recorded about him talking about the kick to the head of Bret Hart. Because I normally check out the WWE YouTube and I didn't see anything. So if it aired, you guys got to forgive me. I didn't see it yet. But I'm assuming that nothing. Because I would have seen it on the wrestling site. How do you not? That stays getting headlines. Goldberg comments on kicking Bret Hart. Bret Hart comments on the sloppiness hit from Bill Goldberg. That stays for years making headlines. So I'm hoping that maybe something was recorded about Goldberg. Look, I would even, you know what I think would be badass? I think it would be badass if Stone Cold on the next Broken Skull Sessions, this never aired before, Brad. What? This never aired before. But
just wanted to prepare you. I had Bill Goldberg on the show a couple of weeks ago. We didn't air this on the initial airing, and this wasn't aired anywhere on social media. I asked him about that kick. This is what he had to say.
And hopefully we'll get something like that. To not get something like that would be, I gotta say, it would be very, very disappointing. So we'll see what happens with that. Hey, I want to give a shout out to the big event. The big event. They had a successful event out in New York over the weekend. All of some of my colleagues, friends, familiar, who I respect tremendously, were there. And to hear that apparently this big event, this was the first time ever in big event history that they had a sellout event. And remember, we were on the show initially a couple of weeks ago. If you guys recall, I had promoted it. I said, hey, you guys are going to be in the New York area. Undertaker's going to be there. Braun Strowman is going to be there. Matt Hardy. And I went over a bunch of names. And I was only a fraction of the names of the people that was there for the event and everything. And they did phenomenal. I saw a lot of pictures. It went phenomenally well. Apparently, it went so well, Big Event is already planning on a follow-up in that same area later this year. They're going to be back out there on November 14th. And I told the missus, I said, look, I know we have the wedding, a couple more weeks. We're doing the wedding. I said, I know all hands is on deck for the wedding right now, but would you like to go to New York in the fall? Go to the big event. She's like, what's the big event? I told her about it. Oh, that seems really cool. I said, yeah. And every other weekend she has to work. So she looked at her calendar and she was like, when is it? Like November 14th. That weekend of November 14th? Like that weekend of November 14th. She's like, I got to work that whole weekend. I'm like, oh, fuck. So, we'll see. But if she's not able to tag along with me to go to that event, I'm definitely going to be going. Matter of fact, now that I know the date of when the next event is going to be, assuming it's going to be at the same event that it was this past weekend, if that be the case, I'm definitely going to go on ahead and book a hotel as close to the area as possible. And that way I'm already set, ready to go. But I'm definitely going to be going to the next one. So those of you that are, maybe going to be in the New York area, living in the New York area, and you plan on checking the big event out, you'll definitely be able to see me. And hopefully we can hang out, grab a couple of brews, all that good stuff. Definitely going to have a good time. Going to be nice to catch up with friends and everything. So looking forward to that. But nice to hear that it had went successfully well. That puts a big old smile on my face. You have no idea. Hey, got some CM Punk news. Did you guys hear about this? CM Punk is set to star in a new supernatural horror movie. So he's following up on what he did with Girl on the Third Floor there. He's got a new movie that's going to be coming out. It's called Jacob's Wife. And he's going to be working with horror legend Barbara Crampton, according to Deadline. Filming wrapped up on the project after an under-the-radar shoot in Canton, Mississippi, apparently. The movie was directed by Travis Stevens, who recently directed Punk and Girl on the Third Floor. And remember, that's on Netflix right now. I got to get around to reviewing that when I get a chance as well. And there is a trailer that's out for the movie. As far as when it's going to be released, we don't know just yet, but it's a supernatural horror movie. The synopsis so far, it looks like it follows a woman in her late 50s who discovers a new sense of power that comes with a price, very heavy price, following a chance encounter with the Master. Cast also includes Larry Fessenden, Bonnie Aarons, Robert Russler, Sarah Lynn, Mark Kelly, and Naisha Bell. So check that out when you guys get an opportunity. If you haven't already checked it out already, want to send prayers, best wishes, honestly, prayers of strength to Big Papa Pump, Scott Steiner, in case you guys didn't hear about it, over the weekend, he was at Impact Wrestling for some tapings, and he had a serious health problem. I am trying to find some more information because I don't know if it was a heart attack, if it was a stroke. I don't know what the hell was going on. Hopefully when Scott Steiner is ready to tell the story, in his own words, he'll be able to tell the story, but it was a serious health scare. Now, his wife did give an update before the weekend was out. She complimented the hell out of Impact Wrestling's staff and key members on the roster, including Joey Ryan. There's a whole bunch of people she had thanked, and basically said that, you know, he's okay. He's making on the road rather to a full recovery. Appreciate everybody's thoughts and prayers and everything, but you know, to hear something like that, and Scott Steiner, you know, he's still in his 50s. I know some of you guys may look at him and go, "Damn, he's still in his 50s? He'd be in his 60s by now." No, he's still in his 50s. So for him to be experiencing what he's experiencing, you know, it almost, I wouldn't be surprised if nobody has brought this up before, but it almost reminds me a little bit of Arnold Schwarzenegger. And what I mean by that is, remember how we all were scared shitless when we found out, oh man, Arnold Schwarzenegger suffered a freaking heart attack. What the hell? And there was just that thought in the back of our minds. We knew everything that he was doing. From the infamous documentary back in the day, we knew everything that he was doing to his body to keep that type of build up and everything. And we knew that there would be consequences, but to still, oh man, that happened to Arnold? Arnold had what? You're still in shock. So I couldn't help but as soon as I had heard what happened with Scott Steiner, you know, about how he had the collapse and everything, I just automatically thought about Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I just was like, man, sooner or later, all that stuff that you're doing to your body. Now look, I'm not even going to jump out there. I'm not even going to talk about steroids, and if I kind of sounded like I was alluding to that, I humbly apologize because that wasn't my intent. My whole point was when you work out relentlessly, the way that Scott Steiner, the way that Arnold Schwarzenegger was doing it back in his day, eventually that takes a serious toll on the heart. Some serious strain is put on that heart, because you're making it work. I do know that much from, you know, when I used to work out religiously back in the day, and, you know, not for nothing, I'm going to be getting fitted for my my wedding suit pretty soon. And I'm actually going to be going back to the gym because I told my girl, I said, look, I said, my goal, I just want to lose 30, maybe 40, but definitely 30 pounds I want to lose by the time the wedding comes, so I can be nice and good in the suit. And she's like, okay, well, you know, when you're ready. She's sick right now because she actually ended up getting my flu. So she's battling it. Whoa.
Stu's in. Stu's covered.
Well, where?
Do I like Hulk Hogan? No, I don't. I think he's a phony piece of shit.
That was an accident. Sorry. Hey, I got you, Brett. I got you. But no, back on track. So she got my flu again. So once she is in the clear, she's going to be tagging along with me to the gym, and you know, I'm going to be hitting the weights, and I know she's mainly just going to be focusing on cardio stuff, but I'm definitely going to be hitting the weights again. But that's actually one of the reasons I had stopped working out, is because I was kind of noticing a little bit of heart problems for myself. Wasn't doing any illegal substances or anything like that, but I did kind of notice, because the way I would work out, I was doing freakish shit that honestly I knew damn well, tone it down. You don't need to be doing all of that. So I just, I'm happy to hear, knock on wood, that Scott Steiner is going to be okay and everything. He's given us so many cool moments in the past. And what I'd give to see him and his brother be inducted in the WWE Hall of Fame. What I'd give to see that. But boy, I tell you, that's never going to happen with all the controversial shit that's happened with him over the years. Hey, McMahon! Hey, McMahon! Hey, fuck you! I'm gonna share one more story with you guys, and then we're pretty much gonna wrap it up. So I mean, we're gonna go about maybe an hour and 20. I'm actually okay with that. Actually, you know what? I'll get into this last little bit of stuff on Wednesday's show. That's what we'll do, because it can honestly wait until the Wednesday show. But I didn't forget this one thing. I do want to tell you guys about this before we get ready to wrap it up. So yeah, as I said earlier, because I said I was going to come back to talking about it. As I said earlier, the new Thor movie that's going to be coming out, I mean, that's awesome. We got Christian Bale and everything. And I don't know how many of you guys were aware of this, but for those of you kind of going, man, so Christian Bale jumps from DC to Marvel, understand something. DC tried to get Christopher Nolan to do a fourth Batman movie. Y'all need to research this when you get a chance. They tried to get him to do a fourth Batman movie. Nolan was like, I'm good. Really, I don't know what more stories I could tell. And even if I did want to tell them, we're really pushing it. Really pushing it. 3 is enough. That's great. You know, very seldom do you get a phenomenal trilogy want to go out while still on top. And they try to shove a lot of money his way, but Nolan wasn't having it. So he rolled out. And Bale recently commented on this, so you guys can easily go back and you can pull this up in the archives. But they pretty much had asked Bale about it. So Nolan, he said no. And then they never, the execs, properly sat down with Bale to go, well, look, what director would you like to see us maybe try to acquire that you would feel comfortable working with, you know, if you were even come back for another Batman movie? So once Nolan was out of the picture, they essentially just said, okay, well, you know what? We don't need Bale. You know, we're good. Fuck it. So they never did properly try to court him to come back as Batman. So, you know, that's it in a nutshell. But you guys, when you get a free moment, you want to read a lot more about that, go out of your way. I want to say it's something Bale commented on, if not the beginning of this year, late last year. I remember reading it. It felt like I read it, if not November, I definitely read it in December. And I was going, whoa, interesting right there. So I can't wait to see what he's going to be doing on the Marvel side of things. You know, phenomenal actor who just continues to show such great range in his acting. He is one of those actors that does a phenomenal job in totally making the investment of being that character, you know, eating, sleeping, thinking like that character. He does a phenomenal job. Whether he needs to be heavy set or he needs to be, you know, when he was doing Dick Cheney, and he got that freaking heavy, or The Machinist, and he didn't eat. Yeah, I still remember the infamous interview with the reporter. She's like, how did you get so skinny? And Belle's like, I didn't eat anything. And she's like, no, seriously, how did you get? And he's looking at her like, bitch, I didn't eat anything. Look that up if you guys never saw that interview. That interview was freaking hilarious, but can't wait to see how they're going to be doing that movie. That's going to be phenomenal. All right, so your next edition of the RCWR show, we're sticking a fork in it. DONE done. I'm going to be coming live to you guys this Wednesday night after AEW and NXT goes off the air. Oh, how rude of me. Before we get ready to roll out, we do need to take this time out, and we do need to thank some of our sponsors, because we do love our sponsors. Also want to get into some Patreon shout outs as well. First off, we're brought to you in part by my man Tony Bing Gaming. Check him out for all the very latest in Marvel Strike Force, Marvel Super War, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, tips, tricks, news, and reviews, the whole 9 yards. Check him out. He's got a great YouTube channel. Check him out. Tony Bing Gaming, great Patreon paywall as well. We're also brought to you in part by President Evil. Check out the movie on Amazon today. Shout out to my man Screaming Bulls 1 on Twitter. For you guys checking out the webcast version of this show, see those amazing figure busts? Look at that. He's got Raven. He's got Big Papa Pump, Scott Steiner. He's got Havoc in there. Yeah, he's got a real, man, he just did a joint on Tommy Dreamer, a couple other guys. I think he did Sabu. somebody just commissioned him too, man. Some phenomenal stuff that he's doing. Check him out. He's on Twitter at Screaming Bulls 1, the actual number 1. CarEyes.com, eyes spelled EYEZ, CarEyes.com, providing you a really cool, fun way to go about looking for cars and selling cars online. Check it out, CarEyes.com. And through Audible, I'm offering you guys a free 30-day trial of Audible. Head on over to audibletrial.com/RCWR show. You guys will be able to get one free audiobook of your choice. Now is a great time too, because if you're a wrestling fan, you can finally check out Glenn Jacobs' Mayor Kane, his book, Mayor Kane. You can check that out. Or you can check out Jim Ross's upcoming book, which has been a phenomenal read so far, Under the Black Hat. That won't be released until March 31st, but it's available for pre-order right now through Audible. So you could essentially have that ready to go. Make that be one of the first books you check out for free. Or you could check out The Young Bucks Killing the Business. DDP's newest book is out. Chris Jericho's No is a 4-letter word. Bill Apter's is Wrestling Fake. Man, so much great stuff. Or maybe you want to check out some non-wrestling related stuff. You can definitely get yourself the free hookup. Again, you got nothing to lose. You got a lot to gain. Doesn't cost you anything. audibletrial.com/RCWR. Again, audibletrial.com/RCWR. Get yourself a 30-day trial. Instantly go download a free audiobook. And here's the real cool part about it. If after the 30 days is up, you don't like Audible, you get to keep that free audiobook. How about that? You get to keep that free audiobook. You can't beat that. And as my grandmother used to say, he, she would say, you can't beat that. And then she'd throw in, he. So you can't beat that. Check that out. And I also want to give a shout out to some of our Patreon members. Shout out to our Patreon familia, patreon.com/RCWR show. Shout out to Freddie Freddy. Shout out to Justin Ripstock. Shout out to Sean Kenter. Shout out to my man John Krauser. Shout out to Michael Wolf. Shout out to John Davis. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys tremendously. So once again, we'll be coming on live for you guys this Wednesday, March the 11th. As soon as AEW and NXT goes off the air, we're going to learn a lot more information when it comes to AEW, because they're going to be giving us more details on that special Blood and Guts edition of AEW Dynamite. Looking forward to that. By then, I will have watched the FCW documentary that's on the WWE Network right now. I will have also watched a couple of episodes of the Ruthless Aggression. I know they're on 5 or 6 episodes right now, so hopefully by Wednesday, if I haven't watched all the episodes, hopefully I will be at least be able to talk about the first 3 episodes. So looking forward to that. And one last shout out I do want to get into, ChairShotTees.com. Definitely want to give them a shout out. Check them out. That is a awesome collaborative effort from Rob Feinstein of Art of Video and my man Shaheen, who does a phenomenal job with the graphics for, I can't tell you, for me, for other podcasts, always willing to help a brother or a sister out. Phenomenal artist. Appreciate him as always, but it's a great collaborative effort that they're doing. You can go to ChairShotTees.com. They are selling officially licensed merchandise, t-shirts from the likes of Terry Funk, the Road Warriors, Sabu. I mean, I just heard from Rob through his social media pages. They're getting ready to add some more stuff, some more new merchandise to the website. So keep checking back often. And as I told you guys last week, I got an awesome kick-ass Jake Roberts shirt that's in the mail that's going to be coming. And I can't wait to do the unboxing. I'm actually going to be wearing that for you guys, as soon as I get it and everything. The shirt is freaking sweet, but check them out, ChairShotTees.com. chairshottees.com. There's 2 T's in there. Again, chairshottees.com. Check them out when you guys get a chance. Shout out to Freddie. Shout out to Nasty Nate. Shout out to everybody that joined us live. Yeah, I know some of you guys, you just want to kick back and be quiet in the background, and I appreciate that. You have no idea. I appreciate that. Of course, mad shout out to those of you that's going to be checking out the show on demand and on the downloads. Speaking of which, if you're going to be waiting for this, give me about 40 minutes at most. You heard me right, 40 minutes at most, and I will have this ready to go for you guys. Until Wednesday night, get at me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Use keywords, the RCWR show, and I will check you guys out later. Very good night and a very good morning.